Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today, after the day job, I am off to check out the new movie, Civil War. So what is the plot of this film? Well, in an alternate universe, the United States gets into another civil war. And this movie tells the story of a group of journalists kind of stuck in the middle of all of this. And now, how is this a work of fiction? Because I know that right now things are kind of weird here in the States. You know, as I've said before, it's an election year and things always get weird during an election year. But believe me, this movie is 100% fiction. This is not something that is happening. This is not a documentary, guys. And you know how I know this is a work of fiction? Because it seems in this movie, the states Texas and California are working together. In fact, they succeed together and they're attacking the rest of the United States. It would seem by the trailer. And now, if you live in the United States or you just know about us, you know for a damn fact there is no way that California and Texas will ever work together. At least in my opinion. Well, you know what, guys? It's enough of me sitting here jibber jabbing. It is time for me to get out the door because first I got a job to do and then I'm off to check out Civil War. Welcome back, just getting home, and guys, this movie was intense. I enjoyed this film from beginning to end. So let's get this started, shall we? Now, normally I do negatives and positives, but I really don't have any negatives for this film. But I do have something I want to say, and I'm not going to say that this is a negative, positive, or anything, and I apologize if you feel this is a spoiler. But if you're somebody who's on the fence about seeing this movie because you're worried that it's going to be really preachy and have a lot to do with the current political climate here in the United States, do not worry. This film has nothing to do with anything that's going on right now. Now, there might be some scenes in the film that seem very familiar, but they're crafted that way to get an emotional rise out of you, not to push any kind of agenda or be a metaphor, allegory, nothing like that. This film really doesn't focus on any kind of political agenda whatsoever. It just really tells the story of these journalists trying to get through the circumstances that they're in. They're trying to get from point A to point B, and in fact, the movie is a bit more of a road trip film than it is some kind of political driven film. Alright, so let's get this going, alright? First thing I want to talk about with this movie and the things that I like is the cinematography. The film was beautifully shot. And that the film follows journalists, it does this little trick every so often that I really enjoyed as the movie's progressing and they're during some of the action sequences just to kind of drive home what's going on and to kind of give you more of an idea of the perspective of the journalist. There are moments where things will just turn into a snapshot or a still frame or something like that. And I really like the usage of the both types of cameras in this film to really drive home the message of what's going on around. The suspense in this film is outstanding. Oh, so many extremely well-crafted scenes of suspense and atmosphere. Not fear and horror by any means. Absolute suspense. There are some real, just fingernail biting scenes in this movie that you really don't know what's going to happen next. The acting in this film is absolutely outstanding. I would have to say that Kristen Dunst is really the star of this entire film. She does an outstanding job, and I really enjoyed the character she crafted in this film. Not that not everybody else does a great job. Everyone in the film does a really good job. It's just she does a really outstanding job of above everyone else. The scenes themselves that are shot, like I said, are extremely well crafted. There's so many really great moments of just small acting, you know, not big monologue driven scenes, just very tense, extremely well executed and well acted scenes in this movie. The special effects are also very well done. I know that CGI was used in some of the scenes of this movie, but honestly, it's very difficult to tell. I went and saw this film on the IMAX, which I also recommend because, again, the cinematography is gorgeous. And then, even with it being the huge IMAX screen, I really couldn't tell moments that could possibly be CGI and real things that are happening on the screen in front of me. So excellent job in all of that. I really enjoyed the way the story's told also. Rather than focusing on the Civil War and the politics and everything that gets you into the Civil War, it's just telling the story of these journalists traveling across the country in order to tell the story of what's going on. And I liked the fact that they took this massive, big-scale thing that's happening all around everybody, and it tells much more of an intimate story. It doesn't focus on the events that are happening necessarily around them so much. It just focuses on our main characters, and I really like how the film handles that subject matter. So guys, all in all, I would have to say that this is a very solid get out there and check it out in the theaters this weekend. Like I said, don't worry about the political aspect because it's not necessarily in the film like you kind of think it would be. Alright, well that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.